Hello everyone. Today's video is gonna be another Christmas cookie called chocolate pinwheels. Aren't they so adorable? My mom would make this vintage pinwheel recipe every Christmas as far back as I can remember, and this is going to be the first time I'm going to be making it, so let me show you how to make it. So the first thing you're going to do is get out your standing mixer or electric mixer, whichever you have, and cream together a half a cup of butter. Now the original recipe calls for shortening, but I'm using butter instead. And pour in a half a cup of granulated sugar and go ahead and cream that together. Once that's creamed, you're gonna add one slightly beaten egg yolk, just the yolk. Then the recipe said to combine 1 teaspoon of baking powder, 1/8 teaspoon of salt, and 1 1/2 cup of flour, and then combine 3 tablespoons of milk and 1 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla. Then you will alternate between pouring the milk and the flour into the mixture. Now, are you ready to have your mind blown? Maybe you already knew this, but I didn't. My mom said you can use regular flour, or if you are gluten-free like me, you can easily just replace the flour with Bob's Red Mill's 1-to-1 gluten-free baking flour. What? What is this madness? That makes my life so much easier and yours too. So this can be easily done for anyone. You can do it gluten or gluten-free. I was so happy when she told me that. So once that is all mixed together, you're going to wrap it in some plastic wrap or divide the dough into 2 halves, leave one plain, and add 1 ounce of unsweetened melted chocolate to the other. Or you can make 1 plain batch and 1 chocolate batch. Add 2 ounces of chocolate if you make 1 batch plain and then 1 batch chocolate. Okay, so let me quickly make a second batch. Run through the Jill, butter, flour, egg yolk, baking powder, salt, flour, and milk mixture. Boom, done. Now we're gonna melt 2 ounces of unsweetened chocolate and mix that chocolate into the dough. It's gonna look a little messy at first and a little unappealing, but then once you start mixing it, it's gonna look amazing and it's gonna turn chocolatey brown and it's gonna smell so good. So wrap your chocolate batch up and you're gonna chill your dough balls overnight. Then the next day, you're gonna let them thaw for about 45 minutes. I unfortunately let them thaw for almost 2 hours, so they were kind of sticky. So learn from my mistake. Also learn from my mistake and roll them out on wax paper or parchment paper. Don't be a dork like me and use plastic wrap. I don't know what I was thinking. I don't use plastic wrap ever. I always use parchment paper. Well, anyway, moving on. So you're gonna roll each portion out to about 1/8 of an inch thick. And you're gonna roll the chocolate one out as well. Place the chocolate on the plane, and this is where I again quickly realized my failure. So use wax paper, people. It turned out fine, but it would have gone a lot smoother not using plastic wrap. And if it weren't so thawed, that's the other thing, I think, is don't let them sit out for like 2 hours like I did. It's okay. This is my first time making them, actually. So they actually turned out well for being my first time. So once it's all rolled up, you can do what I did, fix any little spots that ripped, and then you're gonna chill that overnight. And then let it thaw for like 30 minutes or so. And this part went a lot smoother because I didn't let it thaw for so long, so they weren't sticky at all. And I cut the roll in half to make it work a little bit easier. Look how cute they are. Then you're gonna slice about 1/4 of an inch thick. You're gonna place them on greased cookie sheets and bake them at 400 degrees for about 10 minutes or until the bottom edges turn slightly brown. They look so cute. They do puff up a little bit, so you do want to maybe leave a little bit more space than I was leaving here. I put them a little bit close together because I couldn't remember how they do swell up a little bit, or do puff up a little bit. Then voila, they are done. They were so good, and it was so nice to finally be able to make these myself. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you make these, let me know how it turned out for you in the comments, or shoot me a picture and tag me on Instagram. My handle will be in the description box. I hope you enjoyed this video. Have a wonderful week, and I will look forward to seeing you all next week. Gotta pay tribute to the ends of those little cookie rolls. They're just delicious too. They're just not as pretty. Gotta give them credit. At least give them some video airtime as I touch them all.